This is Full Court Press, and we ask the pressing questions here. So today, we're going to talk about a lot of things that have been going around in the NBA. Some breaking news, Lonzo Ball got injured. We're also going to talk about some red-hot teams, the MVP race, and a bunch of other things. But let me introduce my two guests here today. On my right, we got Charlie Flack, a returning member of the crew. And on my left, a newcomer here, my brother, Fabio Schemetti. All right, boys. Do you wanna say anything about yourselves a little bit before we get started?
I got all the sports stuff today, dude. Big Chicago fan.
Yes, sir. You?
I know ball.
He knows ball, so he claims.
Shout out Who Has Hoops.
Who Has Hoops gets a special shout out today. All right, boys. Let's start off with someone that's been in the news for quite a while. Ja Morant and the entire Grizzlies team. So Ja Morant, for those that don't know, he's had some off-the-court issues recently with his IG Live. There's a gun right next to his head. Just a lot of stuff's been going on. He's been pointing lasers at people, fighting minors. So, yeah, it's a very awkward situation for him. But he did apologize. He got suspended for like 8 games now. Went to counseling, rehab. So what do you guys think? Ja Morant and the Grizzlies.
Where do you start, dude? Like
that whole team's just been wild.
Dude, adding on Dylan Brooks, you see Desmond Bain.
Yeah,
he just punched Kevin Love in the nuts yesterday, pretty much. But I really liked Ja before all of this started happening. So I'm obviously willing to give him a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
He started to put in the work, counseling, suspension. I'm interested to watch. I think it already came out. His interview. I only saw a clip. His interview with Jalen Rose.
Yeah. Why were they sitting so close?
Yeah, I saw you put that on Twitter. They were sitting hella close. But yeah, he messed up. He's taking steps in the right direction. Hopefully, he can bounce back.
I agree with that. I also liked Ja before all of this happened. Mm-hmm. When he was talking a lot in the playoffs last year, it's kind of like, okay, you haven't done much. You don't really have to talk, but it's the confidence and just the whole Grizzlies team is a young team, so they're going to have that confidence. They're going to be the ones that are talking because they have to prove themselves. But this season, they've just been going above and beyond what they really should be doing, especially with fighting minors and just talking more shit than they probably should be. What about you? What do you think?
I still like Ja. I have no problem with the Grizzlies team. They're a good team, except Dylan Brooks. I don't think there's a reason to like him. He provides great entertainment, though.
Great entertainment.
Bringing in new fans.
They'll be fine without Ja overall. They were fine last year when he was missing games. Tyus Jones turns into a god when he starts. So overall, they'll be fine. They might dip below. I think they're tied with the Kings right now, so they're probably gonna dip below them a little. But they're gonna have the 3rd seed locked up. Come playoff time, they'll be back. They'll be back to normal. Everything should be fine. Less distractions too now that they're leaving away games immediately instead of staying overnight. So, they'll be fine in the long run.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was really worried about them just absolutely falling off in the standings. Is more like, come on guys, you're a basketball team, you got to really focus up. If you want to be a real championship team, you can't have all these distractions going on off the court, especially with your main guy too. It's kind of a big deal, especially considering Steven Adams was probably the one veteran on that team. He called for a meeting to talk about everything that's been going on, and then the IG Live video happened that same day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's a little
disrespectful. Couldn't do my boy Steven like that. Dude.
Right, Aquaman.
Come on.
It's a little disrespectful of Steven Adams, considering he always backs up Ja whenever he needs it, and he's the one enforcer on the team. But Dylan Brooks has been running his mouth
on everyone,
crazy.
Everyone and everything, dude. He's going.
Officials are not safe either.
Nobody's safe. Cameramen, they're not safe. No, but you see, they just brought back the tweet he put out saying Draymond was his favorite player when he was at Orlando. I want to be just like Draymond. He hates his guts, dude. It's crazy.
In a way, though, he kind of is just like Draymond.
Oh yeah, he's got the same mentality for sure.
Draymond isn't throwing up 13 shots a game though.
Yeah, Draymond. He might know his place a little more.
Yeah,
Draymond be passing that thing.
There's a little bit of a different dynamic because Draymond is a better defender. Dylan Brooks, I would say, is a better offensive player.
I wouldn't say that.
Really?
Dylan Brooks is shooting below 40% from the field, below 30% from three, has no offensive IQ, can't really pass the ball either. I mean, Draymond, when he was in his prime, he could shoot the ball. Like, he's a great passer already. He knows how to run an offense. So,
Okay, I can respect that.
Yeah, I was gonna agree with that. I mean, I don't. His percentages are definitely worse. I'd say maybe his he could probably score on his own easier or like better himself. But yeah, he's not. He definitely can't run an offense like Draymond can run an offense.
But in terms of being that guy that's gonna get the technical fouls, and
the
like,
menace.
yeah,
the team
yeah,
menace.
the team menace.
He's
Really,
menace.
that's a perfect way of putting it. The team menace. Yeah, I think Dylan Brooks has to be that guy on the Grizzlies because it's not going to be Ja. You can't have your star doing that. And it's not going to be Desmond Bain or Steven Adams or Jaren Jackson. So I guess Dylan Brooks kind of does fit that role pretty well. But just the stuff he's saying, like he was talking to Draymond saying that if he wasn't on the Warriors, no one would know him. He talked about Luka, how Luka's ducking smoke against the Grizzlies and him.
He called Kyrie out too, right?
He called Kyrie out too. He blew a kiss at both of them during that game. And they play the Mavericks again. And I think that's the same game that Ja comes back. So
oh boy,
there'll be a few storylines with that.
As long as Kyrie and Luka are actually playing, there'll be some storylines.
They should be.
Yeah. I think if Luka is playing that game, regardless if Kyrie's playing or not, Luka's gonna just put on a master class.
Like Luka against the Suns, dude.
Yeah, he's gonna drop 40. I mean, when it comes to like the rivalries in the NBA, I think the Grizzlies are trying to just brew up something with everybody, especially in the West.
But yeah, you gotta respect it though because they're not a big market team.
Yeah.
And now everybody knows who the Grizzlies are. Every team going to play Memphis was like, oh god, dude, like I don't want to have to deal with this freaking. I don't want to have to deal with Dylan Brooks calling me out. So it's like, yeah, they're making waves. Same thing like. It would honestly probably benefit. I won't say benefit because the Kings are playing really good right now, but like to make noise like that to get recognition. Because I would say like it's a big reason why Fox didn't get All-Star votes is because he's on the Kings. They don't have a huge fan base.
Right.
So I'll give Dylan Brooks that he's waking up a lot of Memphis people that they have a basketball team.
Honestly, that's a perspective I wasn't even thinking about, like the whole small market area of Memphis. Because before it was like grit and grind, like you're a team that's gonna fight tooth and nail. Now you're like that team that's gonna talk that shit. And you're gonna be able to back it up, but
I mean, Zebo.
Yeah,
he was a huge shit talker. Yeah, so like, they always had that in him, but everybody respected him. That was
everyone respected Zebo.
Everybody respected him. Not a lot of people respect Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, I remember seeing like I think it was a 2.5-minute video of just a compilation of Dylan Brooks getting into fights this season alone.
Oh man. Dude, the Grizzlies are something else, but they're in a tough conference right now, and some teams are really like picking it up in that conference. They're getting red hot right now. You got the Kings that you just mentioned.
Kings just cooked our Bulls, dude.
Yeah,
De'Aaron Fox
murdered us.
Dude, before that, I wasn't really familiar with his game. Insert the Shaq meme.
The Shaq meme.
I'm familiar now, dude. He's cold-blooded. Every clutch shot they needed, cash. I don't know, like he's got like 40 more points in the clutch time than anybody else this season. He's definitely like that.
Dude, the Kings have stepped it up this year. I honestly didn't think the Kings would be as good as they are. I was hoping for improvement from them just because Sabonis got traded over there for Halliburton last year, I believe. And honestly, I was like, okay, the Kings, maybe they could get a play-in spot. Being number 2 in the West, arguably the tougher conference, they're getting their respect. I hope that come playoff time, that their first home game is just going to be packed. Like, the fans are going to go crazy.
Oh, it definitely will.
It's been, what, how many years? Almost 20?
Yeah, I think it's been like 18.
They were packed during the summer league.
During the summer league?
Yeah, they're going to be packed in the playoffs. Every single home game before the game ends, you just hear the loudest chants of "Light the Beam." They're definitely going to be packed in the playoffs.
That's so cool, though. I really do like lighting the beam.
Light the Beam.
That's such like a unique thing, dude. That's awesome.
That's good that they have that because that also helps with the marketing thing.
Yeah. Where's that light come from? We got a basketball team in Sacramento.
The Kings coach Mike Brown, he's actually been like talking. His post-game press conferences have been like really good in terms of like promoting Fox and Sabonis. Because you mentioned like All-Star votes. The reason why he didn't get as many was because he was in a small market. I think Mike Brown is doing a great job there, and honestly, he said that they should be all NBA.
They will be.
If I think about it, if Sabonis doesn't get it, Fox should. In my opinion, at least one of them should be all NBA guaranteed. But both of them could get it like a third team.
Yeah, I was gonna say
at
third
the
team.
least.
I think Sabonis is probably going to get third team. The only other center that would probably be him out is Bam, and Bam's kind of been on the decline since All-Star break. So I don't really see Sabonis losing out to him. And then Fox, I'd be more worried about Fox just because of how many guards there are. And all that. But I think he's going to at least get third team also.
There are a lot of good guards that could be better than Fox right now, but I think the fact that they're in second place in the West, the standing has to have some sort of weight here, just because no one was expecting this, and because of just how tough the West is. They're actually separated from the pack. Like 4 through 13 is within like 8 games, 6 to 8 games or whatever, and the Kings are nowhere near in jeopardy of getting out of like the top 4, to be honest, with the amount of games that are remaining. So I just think that standing alone should have some sort of impact when you're picking the All-NBA.
They're up 4.5 games from falling to 4th.
Yep, and that's a lot of games for what's left. It's like only 10 to 12 games depending on the team. The Clippers are heating up.
After trading for Westbrook, they start, I think, 0-4. And now they're starting to get it together. I think 4-0 in their last
4-game run.
Kawhi has been cooking. A lot of people tried to write him off at the start of the season. He's been absolutely cooking. Paul George is doing Paul George things, doing his thing. Terrence Mann is getting more and more minutes again. Before they got Westbrook, he was their point guard, and that's when they looked their best. And Ty Lue is starting to focus back more into him, limiting Westbrook's minutes, which is probably for the best overall. I also saw a few days ago that Russell Westbrook has the highest plus-minus on the Clippers recently.
So that's surprising.
So clearly in his minutes, he's helping them a lot.
They said when Westbrook's on the court too, the Clippers have the highest offensive rating in the league. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it was happening with the Lakers, to be honest. I don't think his plus-minus was that great, or their offensive rating was that great. I just think
they were just terrible in general.
Yeah, I think the Lakers fan base had a lot to do with it because the same thing happened with KCP. They kind of like trashed him into like oblivion. Now that the spotlight isn't always on him, he's not like tuning into social media and just seeing hate all the time. He's playing better. The Clippers are meshing well. I mean, him and Paul George were teammates before, so I guess that familiarity and like the confidence that Paul George has in him to play well kind of helped him out too. Plus, I like Kawhi a lot ever since the San Antonio days. Before he got injured, I thought he was going to be great. Fortunately, his injuries didn't deter him as a player too much because he did get another ring in Toronto, and I don't think he's been as healthy as he could be, obviously. But when the playoffs hit and Kawhi is healthy, it's gonna be a scary sight for anyone that has to play the Clippers first round. What's the record right now?
So I was just looking at that right now. We're back at the Phoenix and Clippers matchup in the 4-5, which is pretty good. But yeah, Clippers are 5th right now.
What are they? 37 and what?
37 and 33.
Okay.
The one thing the Clippers need to do is just get Marcus Morris out of the lineup.
Yeah, I agree.
Or out of the rotation. He's starting right now, but like he gives up on defense too easily. His shot selection's terrible, and they have Robert Covington sitting on the bench getting no minutes when he actually provides 3 and D like they need.
We're going to switch over to the Eastern Conference, and they have the best record in the league right now. The Bucks first in the East.
Only 50-win team.
The only 50-win team in the league, and they're 21 for their last 23. 21 and 2 over the past 23 games. The Bucks are looking serious again. Middleton's finally come back. He's slowly getting back to his all-star form. The Bucks are clicking on all cylinders. They're looking like a favorite to win the championship. No one has stayed as hot as they have for the past 20-plus games. What do you guys think about the Bucks?
Drew Holiday's a demon. Absolute demon.
The best two-way guard in the league?
Basically. When Giannis and Middleton were both sitting for like a couple games here and then, this man's coming out, pulling up the tween step back threes to win.
Tween step back threes.
Absolute monster stepping up on offense. Defense is still there. Deservedly an all-star, despite what some people think. And then Brook Lopez, potential defensive player of the year.
What a turnaround, dude. Went from like the worst defensive center in the league now to leading the league in blocks, dude. That's crazy.
The way that Brook Lopez's game has transformed over the years has been crazy. He used to be a low post, big time rebounder guy in New Jersey, Brooklyn.
Like 26 a game, dude.
Yeah.
And
now he's a 3-and-D center,
he's a
bro.
3-and-D center.
That doesn't make any sense.
He's one player that like who should be like looked at as the definition of adapting when it comes to basketball. He went from traditional big man to 3-and-D big man, and honestly, he's the enforcer too.
Yeah, you saw freaking Trey Lyles trying to get down in 30 with Giannis. Dude, Brooks said, "No way."
He said, "That's my team. I got your back."
I start, but he saw Giannis just walk away. He's like, whatever. Dude. Alright. I mean, yeah, Brook Lopez is definitely like a ride or die guy. But yeah, I wanted to shout him out too.
Could you imagine if it was a Grizzlies Bucks finals and you have a fight between Steven Adams and Brook Lopez? Who's moving those people?
Personally, I'm not going toe to toe with Brook Lopez.
I'm not going toe to toe with either of them. Probably not going to go toe to toe with anybody in the NBA, but those would be the two guys I would not want to the most.
Yeah. The trades they made, Jay Crowder, he's been solid. I think he should get a little more minutes, like come clutch time, just because he is more defense. Like they tend to run Joe Ingles more in the clutch.
Experience. Yeah.
Like Joe Ingles has been good for them, but when they need defense, he's not the best guy to have.
Yeah,
but he's been solid for them. They picked up Goran.
The Dragon.
I don't think he's played yet.
The Dragon.
I don't think he's played yet, but he's good to have off the bench because they don't really have like a good scoring guard. Javon Carter is just a great defender. A pretty solid shooter, but nothing like that.
I was just going to bring up Goran. I think I saw a tweet that said the Celtics were pissed that the Bucks picked up Goran.
They're pissed at the Bulls for letting him go.
Yeah, for letting him go.
We didn't need him.
Spread his wings. Chicago Bulls legend.
For real. Speaking of the Bulls, literally like within the past hour, some bad news came out about our point guard who doesn't start because he's injured, Lonzo Ball. He's dealt with knee issues for the past year and a half, and they just said that he's probably going to be out for the rest of this year, obviously, and then the entirety of the 2023-2024 season because he's going to get another surgery on his knee. And this makes me sad, like, not even as a Bulls fan, for Lonzo Ball and just, like, as a basketball fan, kind of because, like, as a Bulls fan, we have dealt with this before with Derrick Rose. We just didn't know what his timetable would be, and he wasn't the exact same player that he was before the injury. He was still good, but just having to deal with that injury all the time, not knowing when you're going to come back or if you're going to play basketball again.
Yeah, now they're saying his career is in jeopardy, dude.
Yeah.
So, come on.
They did say though that they think this one is gonna have the best chance of actually reviving his career. So there's a positive in this.
But yeah, there's a hope for the surgery, but just growing up watching Lonzo from Chino Hills to UCLA, he's maybe a year or two older than we are.
I think he's 25.
Yeah, he's a couple years older than us, and it's just like we actually watched this guy growing up
in high school. Yeah,
and like when we signed him, I was so happy. I was like, we got Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball's 3-and-D. He can facilitate. He's going to be great for the Bulls.
And definitely what we needed at the time. That sucks that this always happens to the Bulls when we're in our championship window, dude.
Literally.
Yeah, always.
Like, he was the whole reason why the Bulls were clicking and a very big part of the reason why we were in first place in the middle of the season last year. And as soon as he went down with his injury,
we went down.
Yeah, the Bulls went down.
Everyone back up, dude.
It was just tragic because the reason why the Bulls aren't playing as well is it's a lot of isolation with DeMar or Zach, and Lonzo kind of like added more spacing to the floor. And as a facilitator, you didn't need someone to just go ISO all the time.
Yeah, Lonzo added so many different elements to the offense. We actually ran the fast break. We started doing that a lot more this year. But last year, it was so many fast breaks off steals. He actually shot the three. We shoot the least amount of threes in the league by far. I think we shoot as a team less than 30 threes a game, and we're the only team to do that.
Damn.
And we shoot it fairly well, but like we just don't shoot a lot. There's gonna be games. There was a stretch of the season where I think we missed like 21 threes in a row.
We're looking like
across like 3 games or something like that.
across 2 games. I thought you meant 1 game. I was gonna say we're looking like the Rockets in Game 7.
Yeah.
But he actually was someone that could pass the ball. Like when DeMar was out for a portion of the season, I'm watching the Bulls and none of our guys can make an entry pass to Vooch.
Mm-hmm.
So like we don't. He just adds so many elements to our offense, and our defense. Like Billy Donovan loves running these 4-guard lineups. And Lonzo Ball, he was tall enough to actually run the 4. Instead, now we have Caruso running the 4 sometimes.
Yeah, that versatility on defense helped a lot. I remember when we went to go watch the Bulls vs. Knicks at United Center, and like Lonzo was playing, the defense was just elite. Caruso, Lonzo, that was like arguably the best defensive backcourt in the league at that time.
We had Lonzo and Julius Randle shutting him down.
Exactly. Lonzo just adds a lot of versatility to a team, offensively and defensively, and just seeing him not be able to play basketball for like almost 3 years is just sad. It just hurts me internally as a person who plays basketball. I'm like, bro, this has to suck. Like, this is what you've done your whole life, and now you're basically at the risk of not being able to do it again in the NBA. I don't know what to say about this other than just be pissed because I was so happy when Lonzo came, and it was working out great. Year 1, they're blasting past all my expectations for them. And then now to have this news, because I was hopeful he'd come back by the end of the year, this year.
That was not.
That was
I was hopeful for next year, though. And now that being thrown out the window, too, is like, wow, dude, that is not...
That's just a punch in the gut.
Yeah, that is not what you want to see.
It sounds like we should rebuild, in my opinion.
Do you like the rebuild idea?
Just freaking rebuilt, dude. I don't want to rebuild again.
Bro...
We didn't rebuild for real.
But I would say a retool. I know a lot of people make fun of that, but like, I don't care what we do with Levine. I like Levine. He's probably not that guy. But I think between Io, Williams, and Kobe, I think like those are 3 really good young players to like you put whether or not Patrick Williams becomes like a superstar.
Yeah.
You bring in another superstar. Vooch's contract is coming off. We have DeRozan and Levine for next year.
Yeah.
If we somehow bring in another superstar, like the team we have right now is still like a good team.
I
also think we need a new coach, dude.
Yes.
I think the biggest problem with this team is coaching.
I think
Donovan sucks.
Yeah.
I hate him so much.
I think I see Fabner like whenever the Bulls lose under the Bulls Twitter, he's just like, please fire Billy Donovan.
Dude, this man Billy Donovan took 2 timeouts to have Vooch take a fading 3 for game.
Dude, he's gotta go, dude. It was fun when we signed him because he was better than Boylan.
Yeah,
but
he's boiling with hair.
He's I'm ready for him to go.
Yeah. I need that rebuild for the Patrick Williams rise to start him. The flashes are there. He just doesn't get the ball.
I forget Donovan played him more, dude.
Yeah.
So he had like a plus 13, plus minus yesterday while he was on the court, and the Bulls still lost by 3 because he didn't play. Right? Like, come on.
He just needs to get the ball more in general in offense. He takes like 5 shots a game.
We don't have any set plays. It's just let DeRozan or Levine go to work. And
that's why
Granted Levine has dropped 35.
Oh, yeah. Well, Levine's game. He's cooking, dude.
They're starting to run Levine as the 1 option, and DeRozan's starting to run off ball more. Mm-hmm. But I personally want DeRozan gone just so like Patrick Williams can start to get the ball more.
There are a couple options with the Bulls. There doesn't seem to be a definite light at the end of that tunnel. For other teams, their future's looking brighter. The Bulls are fighting for that play-in spot. But let's talk about the playoffs for a little bit. The playoffs are right around the corner. Got maybe 2 to 3 weeks before they start. What teams do you think won't make it that are in the running now? And what teams will? So me personally, in the West, I want to see the Lakers in it just because the way that they've been playing, they've been clicking. Even with LeBron out. I thought LeBron, getting hurt, that the Lakers were cooked. They were finished. They weren't going to make the play-in if LeBron wasn't there. But surprisingly, they've been playing really well. The trade for D'Lo and Jared Vanderbilt was probably their best move of the trade deadline because their defensive rating is, number 1 in the league now?
Is it? I don't think it is.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's the Bulls.
No, it's not
they're
the Bulls
they're
anymore.
up there regardless.
It's not the Bulls anymore.
Since the trade deadline.
Oh, okay.
Since the trade deadline.
Yeah, I think it is
the
the
Bulls.
Lakers now, actually.
The Bulls were since January 1st.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw the tweet he's talking about. I'm pretty sure it's not the Bulls anymore.
Yeah, so the Lakers, they hit 15 threes in the first half, right? Just against the Pelicans. That was a franchise record. I've never seen them move the ball the way they did.
I think it might
in
even
that
be
game.
better that LeBron's out right now, just for them.
It could be.
For everyone else to gain their confidence,
Right.
Not having to worry about letting LeBron down at the moment, like he's on the court. I don't want to miss this pass, dude. Like something like that.
Yeah, you can't let
So
LeBron down.
Letting everyone get their, because LeBron could probably go on any team and fit into the chemistry well. So like letting them figure it out themselves, I think that'll help them out when LeBron comes back.
Yeah, so I do want to see the Lakers in the playoffs or the play-in. Doesn't really matter. I hope they make the playoffs though. But
if they do make the playoffs, I hope they get bounced in the first game in the play-in or first round, dude.
I mean, if they end up 7th, I don't know if that's possible, but unless they finish 7th or 8th,
They could definitely end up 7th.
Yeah, if they end up 7th and they face
They're a game behind
the
7th.
Kings or the Grizzlies. If they face the Grizzlies, I hope the Lakers win. If they face the Grizzlies, I hope the Lakers win. I don't care.
I'm pulling for a Lakers win.
Against the Grizzlies?
Yes.
If they face the Kings, though, I hope the Kings dub them.
I think the Lakers
Kings
want
have
to face the Kings, but because they probably think the Kings are like an easy matchup.
Experience.
Yeah, all of that. But I don't think it's gonna be good for the Lakers overall.
Overall, in terms of making
Like
7 or
if they face the Kings, I don't think it's gonna end well for them.
I mean,
Okay.
looking at this right now, the 7 through 10 in the West is Minnesota, Dallas, OKC, and the Lakers. And I would say Minnesota and OKC had a pretty decent shot of falling out of that.
Yeah.
Unless I don't know when Karl Anthony Towns is coming back.
He
but-
said he should be back like
Yeah, he
within a
should be
week
back
or
soon.
two. And then I know I think it was Sam Presti. He's the owner, right? Owner of the Thunder.
Yeah.
He said he didn't want to just appear in the playoffs. Like he when they make the playoffs, he wants the Thunder to put people on notice, like that they're that team. So I think they're gonna like purposely tank so they don't make it this year.
I mean, if
So
they
that they
make
can make it next year and like actually make the big
Yeah, I was
splash.
gonna say, if they made the plan, they could probably get out of the plan, but they're definitely not winning a series. So
Yeah, I also agree. I don't think the Thunder are there yet, especially without Chet, because we don't know how good Chet's gonna be.
I wouldn't put too much money on him, dude.
I wouldn't-
Maybe, but
Put too much on him either, but he's just a big guy. I think
it would be better to have him than not
Yeah.
have him.
exactly. You said Minnesota. I want Minnesota back in the playoffs just because I like Ant, but
Yeah,
I hate Gobert, so I kind of don't want them in at the same time. But to me, it doesn't really matter. Who else is in the picture right now?
Portland technically is, but they suck.
Utah, New Orleans, and Portland are all right there.
I want the Pelicans
Oh.
in.
If Zion's back,
Yeah.
dude. If Zion's healthy, they could go all the way. I
Yeah,
100% believe that.
I don't think he's coming back.
Zion.
What the hell's even was his hamstring like 3 months ago, right?
Yeah.
That
I don't know if he's coming back this season.
It's crazy, dude.
Speaking of bad injuries, we have Lonzo, but Zion has been an injury issue since he got drafted.
They were
Before
on
he
the
got
same-
drafted,
and
yeah.
they were on the same team.
Yeah, they were on the same team. At
And
one
Brandon
point.
Ingram's also an injury problem too.
Yeah.
But looking at the way that the Pelicans played last year, they almost upset the Suns in the first round.
And now Ingram's getting back to like conditioning, so
Mm-hmm.
I think they could probably still make the play-in, but they're definitely not going to win
I think
without
they-
Zion.
I think out of their like last maybe 24 games, they've won 6.
God, that's horrible.
3-7 in their last 10.
We talked about red hot teams. They are ice cold.
Yeah,
It's
it's
hard
really
without your
good.
guy, dude.
It is
Zion's
hard.
gotta come back, dude. Getting tired of this, dude.
I mean, he is their guy, but he really isn't there for like 2/3 of the season, like regardless. So they're kind of used to not having him there.
I want to see Utah make the play-in because all their games are like interesting and close.
I like
Like they probably won't win, but it'll at least be good to watch.
trying to see Laurie Markkinen go off, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to see Utah in the playoffs whatsoever.
What's
Despite-
wrong with Utah, dude?
Despite Laurie Markkinen being there, I just don't think that they're a fun team.
I do.
I
They got
think they're a fun.
They're
They're a fun
fun.
team.
I don't-
dude.
I don't
What?
think they're a fun team.
they got Jordan Clarkson.
Dude,
they
they're
got
flashy.
Laurie.
Laurie could put someone on a poster any minute, dude. Walker Kessler swatting shots,
Walker
dude.
Kessler is him.
Dude, I think the Jazz are a super fun team.
The
I would wanna watch them.
THT? THT's cooking.
Come on, dude.
Man.
He's cooking.
I am not a fan of the Jazz. They're just a bunch of role players that can play well.
Nah, dude.
That's nasty.
Most
They're a
of
bunch of
That's
role players.
nasty.
They got
They
Clark.
they have a Rookie of the Year candidate with Walker Kessler. They have probably the most improved player of the year. Jordan Clarkson is him as just a scorer in general. Chris Dunn revived his career
back.
again. THT's looking good over there.
like
They have another good rookie, Oche. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's looking pretty good as like a 3-and-D kind of guy. They have some other. They just got.
I think they're a fun team
They're
to watch.
fun.
And they play well together. Obviously, they were the 1 seed
They
for a
were
second.
for a little bit.
For a second, I mean, so were the Pelicans.
So are the Trailblazers.
They're all out of the play.
The 3 teams that are on the cusp of being in the play-in were at one point the 1 seed, so it's a little tough. But a couple matchups I do want to see would be Grizzlies Warriors round 1. If that happens, Grizzlies Warriors.
It's happening right now. 9-6.
I need that.
It's
I need
happening
to see the Warriors eliminate them first round.
I need that Dylan Brooks Draymond Green rivalry injected into my veins if they play in the playoffs. It's just gonna be ridiculous.
I need that one. One thing I do want to see is I want to see Lakers versus Clippers and Russell Westbrook game the Lakers out of the playoffs.
That would be awesome.
That would be
so
so awesome. I need that.
The Battle of LA and Russ getting his revenge on the Lakers fan base. Could you imagine the Lakers fan base if Russ beat
I would
them
be
in
in
the
comments
playoffs?
everywhere being like, y'all shouldn't have talked down on Russ. He's like that,
need
dude.
it so bad.
Wake Show Yo immediately is gonna like injure himself. Oh, dude, that would be crazy. You have to look at further matchups when we talk about the East because you're really only looking at like 4 teams, maybe 5.
I really like Cleveland in the East, though.
We were just watching Cleveland versus Philadelphia last night, and dude, watching Embiid. Evan Mobley's a good defender,
Evan
but
Mobley's insane.
Embiid's too big for him.
Yeah.
I think Jared
Allen's
Allen's
a better matchup.
be a way better matchup.
But
Yeah, Evan Mobley's an insane defender.
I-
He's winning a decoy soon.
I think led by Donovan Mitchell, I think they could definitely upset any of the. They could come out of the East. Honestly, I think
they could.
the Bucks are their biggest problem.
Yeah.
But I really like Donovan Mitchell and the Cavaliers.
That would be. I would save them as like a dark horse pick. A dark horse pick in the East would be the Cavaliers. But if we're looking at matchups further into the playoffs, you're gonna have the Bucks versus the Cavs if they both win in the first round. That would be pretty nice because both teams match up pretty well, to be honest.
They do
Mobley
actually.
on
Yeah.
Giannis would be great.
That's a fun matchup. I mean, Mobley's probably gonna get work because he's still pretty skinny.
Yeah. I mean, but Giannis is gonna have to go through Mobley and Jared Allen,
Yeah.
and then
But
Drew
Jared Allen's
Holiday-
gonna
Drew
be,
Holiday's gonna do some
Have-
work on Darius.
Jared
Garland.
Allen's gonna be out of the paint too because you got to guard Brooke.
yeah,
Jared
that's
Allen.
true. But I mean, Drew Holiday's gonna have his work cut out for him trying to guard Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, that
he's
is
not gonna
tough.
have a single play where he's not gonna have to be trying his hardest.
Crowder's a good defender when he guards
I
somebody.
don't know if they're
Yeah.
gonna put him on one of them though.
I just don't think Crowder's quick enough to keep up with you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
They're way too fast. They could run Javon Carter. He's a great defender.
He's really small though, isn't he? Like
Yeah,
6
I
foot?
mean they're also small. Like
Oh.
put Drew on Donovan Mitchell, put Javon on
Yeah,
Garland.
that could work.
This is gonna be my prediction if they do face off. Grayson Allen's gonna injure someone.
Grayson, I hate Grayson Allen, but he's not a horrible defender.
He's not a horrible
guard.
defender,
He's
but
solid enough.
I think he's just gonna have one play where it's just gonna be like a Grayson Allen type bullshit
He's
play.
suspended for the rest of the playoffs.
They have Joe Ingles for that too now.
I guess. And then
they got a deep team.
They do.
and then looking at the other second round matchup, Boston and Philadelphia, I mean, that's gonna be arguably outside of the Eastern Conference Finals, the best series out of the East.
I'm taking Philadelphia in that matchup.
You already had Philadelphia over Boston.
If especially,
Whoa.
yeah.
I mean, I have the Celtics winning it all per my last finals
you did
prediction.
say that.
The way they're playing, I don't like the way Boston's playing. Tatum's not taking anything outside of a 3-pointer or a layup.
And he's got a PJ Tucker on him. So.
Yeah,
But that's the one thing that I was thinking about it. I just don't think the Sixers have like a lot of good defenders other than Tucker.
I mean
They have Thibault, don't they?
Yeah, no,
He doesn't even.
he's on Portland.
Yeah.
They have Jalen McDaniels. He's a solid defender.
Yeah, he's a pretty big
They have
guy.
D'Anthony Melton.
Yeah, I forgot about Melton.
I'm trying to.
I just don't like.
Tobias Harris isn't even a bad defender.
He's not bad. I don't know. I just think if you put Tucker on Tatum, I just think Jaylen Brown's gonna run free pretty much. I don't know.
Yeah, like I think Embiid, especially with like how Robert Williams is, he's almost never healthy.
Yeah.
True.
I think
And
Embiid's just gonna work on him.
yeah, but
If
Horford's
not,
still there, right?
yeah,
Playoff-
Horford's still there.
Playoff Horford, though.
Playoff
Playoff
Horford.
Horford's different.
What
dude.
did he do to Giannis? He bitched Giannis.
Playoff Horford's different, dude.
I mean, I feel like Philadelphia is gonna actually make noise this year.
Yeah, I mean,
It's now or never for them,
It
honestly.
is.
Yeah.
I think either Harden or Embiid is probably gonna leave.
I think Harden's probably gonna.
yeah, I don't think Embiid's
I already
leaving.
said he's going back to Houston, dude. Crazy.
I mean, looking at that matchup, it's going to be a battle of the big bodies with Grant Williams and Joel Embiid. And then if Grant Williams isn't going to guard, you're going to have Horford. So it's going to be somewhat tough for Embiid. It's just going to be they're going to be in foul trouble a lot, the Celtics bigs. But
I think they probably will, unless Robert Williams is the only one I would trust him on Embiid.
yeah, I mean,
Isn't he only like 6'10" now? He's pretty
yeah,
small.
6'10".
That's,
Small
that's,
size.
that's the only problem.
Yeah.
Horford guarded Giannis pretty well.
I think Horford against Embiid's gonna be a good match.
Yeah.
Horford can get in your head, dude. Like you
Yeah.
don't think he's good, and then he's D'ing you up, dude. It's like what the hell? Why are they making shots, dude?
I think the Celtics are just deeper
I think
because
that personally they just rely on the three too much. I think it's gonna hurt them in the long run.
I don't know.
I could agree with that, but I also think they have the capability to hit a lot of
Yeah.
threes. Like if it's not working, then yeah, but I think it will work.
If Derek White has another,
Oh, Derek White's a really
Derek
good
White's
player,
really
too.
good, yeah.
I mean, you got Smart, Derek White,
Yeah, they got
you
really
got
good defense.
Brown,
Brown.
Tatum, Horford, Rob Williams, Grant Williams.
Yeah, they got a really good defense.
You got Gallinari and Malcolm
Is he
Brogdon.
playing?
Gallinari's not playing.
Brogdon's good, yeah,
Yeah.
but
Is Gallinari done for the year?
He tore his ACL during the summer, or one of
That's
the
not, I
things.
think whenever he tore it, I would have expected him to come back. at
It's
some
a
point.
possibility that he could come
I
back.
don't think they're gonna want to play him, especially because like
Yeah.
He won't be up
That's
to
everything
game
else.
speed.
yeah, and he has to get used to everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I just think that the Celtics are deeper than the Sixers, and I think that that's going to play a role
Yeah.
in the end. And then you're going to have maybe a rematch of Bucks Celtics. That's going to be another great series. But coming into that, I don't really know. Like it's going to go either way with that. I have the Celtics coming out the East. You have the Bucks coming out the East.
Yes, sir.
You haven't made your finals prediction yet. We kind of need that here on Full Court Press, Fatmir. So,
No.
what are you thinking?
Nuggets, Bucks.
Let's go. Who's winning though?
Nuggets, Bucks. All right, who you got?
I want to see the Nuggets, Bucks.
The
See,
Bucks.
Yeah, I could see, like before we started, I was like, I might have to change my pick. The Bucks are cooking, but I really want to see the Joker, so I'm gonna stay. I want the Joker to win one, so I'm just gonna keep the Nuggets, dude.
Nuggets don't have anyone to stop Giannis. That's
Aaron
about it.
Gordon.
Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon's stopping Giannis, dude.
Aaron-
MPJ's stopping Giannis.
Aaron Gordon. If you're watching this, you're probably not. But if you do, you need to stop Giannis in the
Me
finals.
too. I believe in you.
Charlie believes in you.
Yes,
Now
sir.
is the time.
When I played for Aurora, my coach knew Aaron Gordon's I guess like mental health guy, and we talked to him.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
The matchup that you guys both have is Nuggets Bucks, and that's a battle of potential MVPs right there.
Mhm.
Well, they both have MVPs. Giannis has MVP. Jokic has 2. Jokic is going for the 3-peat.
They're the last 3 MVPs, right?
Yeah.
Them
Yeah.
2.
hmm
The
And then-
Europeans.
I mean, who do you guys think is winning the MVP to end things off?
Well, alright, when we recorded our last video, I would have said the Joker,
Mm-hmm.
but the Bucks are just in fuego right now, dude.
Fuego,
They're
I
just
like
on
it.
fire, dude. And Giannis has been hooping, so I don't know. If things keep playing out, they got the best record, it might go back to Giannis. But Jokic's stats are probably still better, honestly.
Jokic is a statistical monster,
Yeah.
you know. But both of them have the top 2 records in the league.
I
No,
think
the
no,
Celtics
The
has
Celtics are a
the
little
best
bit ahead.
records in each conference.
Okay, number 1 in each conference. Both international players. So
The Europeans are dominating.
the
league,
Europeans
dude.
are dominating. Shout out Luka. I mean, even Embiid's an international player. He's not from
the
he's not
Kevin
from
Looney and-
Europe, but
top 4 MVP candidates are probably all European.
yeah.
well, not Embiid, but international. Yeah,
Oh yeah, international. Yeah.
dude. I'm still gonna stick with the Joker. I want him to get the 3-peat, and if he does win a chip, I think that would solidify like
Top
his
5
career
center
for
of all
sure.
time, dude.
Arguably, yeah, top 5. Even though there are a lot of great centers, but a lot of them are like from
Old heads.
80s or earlier. You know,
He gets a ring, dude. On top of these MVPs, he's got a really good argument.
and he could average a triple double for the season.
Yeah, that would be insane. Center averaging a triple double.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's also he'd be like 60, 40, 90 too.
60-40.
Jesus.
Whew.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I
God
mean,
damn.
there's been a lot of talk about the MVP race. So, you know, JJ Redick and Kendrick Perkins were going at it on
Dude,
that
was
first
fun.
take.
JJ Redick has the best takes, dude.
JJ Redick
Never
is
misses.
saving the media.
Never misses.
Saving the media. Your MVP. We got
I got Embiid.
Embiid. Okay,
Wow.
so not Giannis or Jokic. Embiid. Why Embiid?
I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think Embiid might be leading the league in scoring again. 76ers have been turning up. He's been a monster on just both ends in general, and him and Harden are both carrying. But like it's just like the run they're starting. That they could end up second in the East. They can end up better than the Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
And like you can't really use record or anything over for any of these teams. So I think it's just like also this man is being pushed by the media to win MVP.
Jokic.
No. Embiid.
Embiid.
Yeah,
true.
and I feel like they're gonna feel bad enough. Like here, dude, you got it now.
You got
Please
one.
stop.
Because he was snubbed from All NBA first team last year, right?
Yeah,
I
and
mean, you can't have both of them, dude.
You can't have all three. Giannis, him, and Jokic.
Well, Giannis is you can't have all three, but Giannis is getting in there at power forward. That's pretty much a lock, dude.
Yeah.
It's just a battle for the centers.
yeah, I think they're just gonna be like, Ty, like here, bro, you got it. Please leave us alone now.
Yeah, I can see that. He is leading the league in points now. He's got 33.5.
Yeah, it's a possibility. So you got Embiid.
But
You got Giannis now for MVP, Charlie? Or you still got the Joker?
I'm gonna stay with the Joker for now.
The
No,
Joker.
I'm gonna stay with the Joker. But Joker's played. Embiid's only played. 55 games is a lot, but
Yeah.
depending, I just want to see what his number is at the end of the season to be like a fair final MVP judgment.
Who was there, or who was the last three-peat MVP player? Like Michael Jordan or something?
Because LeBron got broken up by the one and only D Rose, so
Yeah. So
probably was Jordan.
MJ, yeah. I mean, this would be the first three-peat MVP since MJ. So I would like to see that. That's all that we have for you guys today. Join us next time on Full Court Press. We ask the pressing questions that are going around the NBA. And follow me for more if you love basketball.